Bitcoin, uh-oh, what does that mean? So about 10 days ago, I did my last analysis on Bitcoin and said that I would do an update if I saw something that needed to be talked about, right? Within those 10 days, YouTube analysts have been flip-flopping between 10,000 and 28,000, one day after the other. One day we're bullish, next day we're bearish, that gets old, right? Apparently, I'm going to have to do a dedicated Bitcoin video. So today we're just going to break down what the charts actually say to get a feel about what's really going to happen with Bitcoin over, say, the next 7 to 10 days. Let's put all this flip-flop into rest. So today we're going to focus mostly on Bitcoin, but I will have an altcoin video coming up shortly. Welcome back to Market Watch here on Road Dog Crypto. My name is Lane, your crypto road dog. Looking over Bitcoin today just to kind of see what's going on. When in doubt, the rule is to zoom out. So we're going to start with the weekly to get our mind right on this, okay? This is actually my daily trend line, which is falling in line with the weekly. Okay, we are in an upward trend. It is in a rising channel. Now, this could possibly be bearish. A lot of times it is. These could have about a 64% chance to break to the downside, but it also has about a 36% chance to break to the upside. But what we need to pay attention to here on the weekly is this 13-day moving average right here, which we've come up to test, okay? It's got a little bit of a rejection there. And what Bitcoin will try to do is slowly climb up toward this red Ichimoku cloud, okay? It's going to take a little while. We're also trying to make our way up to this 1618 area, Fibonacci level, which comes in about 27,750 right through that area. So that's our targets here on the weekly. And again, we can see we broke back into this very bullish pattern, this falling wedge here, which has a 68% chance to break to the upside. Bitcoin is showing some strength, but it's also got a lot of resistance to fight through. The thing that we want to look at here is our MACD, okay? This is our moving average convergence divergence indicator, okay? And what it does, when these two lines cross right here, that's bullish, okay? And just to put this into perspective, I want to bring back up that right here at this very top, we had a MACD cross. Second top, we had a MACD cross, okay? On this bottom, we got a MACD cross. We're getting ready to do some big things here. It's just going to take a little time. Also looking on the weekly, our RSI levels are extremely low at 36. We've just crossed above this 30% level right here. That's bullish. You're wanting to wait for that cross of the RSI before you actually go into a trade. We got the signal. Now looking on Market Cipher, the stochastics are kind of coming up here a little bit. We're about like at 91% on stochastics, so they are kind of heated. Now what does this say? We'll probably need a little bit of a correction to stay healthy in this market, so we will probably get a little pullback. Overall, good. Short term, may get a little bit of a pullback. Might run into some resistance.
I don't always like videos, but when I do, I always prefer Road Dog Crypto. Trade wisely, my friends.
Now let's move to the daily to see how this might play out. Daily stochastics are running a little bit high also, okay? Good sign that we may get a little bit of a pullback. Market Cipher, momentum wave is getting ready to print one of those red dots. Good indication that we will get a pullback. Market Cipher indicator is great for that. RSI, a little bit high. We're at 64. Haven't quite hit the 70 mark, but we're getting there, okay? So this is telling us that we've got a little bit of a range. We may see a little bit of a push up, but eventually we're going to get a pull back. All right, so all indications on the daily are saying we're getting a pullback. Falls into range with the weekly. Weekly says we need to get a little slight pullback. More than likely, what we are going to do over the next coming week is retest this bottom trend line somewhere right around the 23,000 area. Let's start putting in some target areas that we can look at. I got some buy zones. These are Fibonacci zones. 20,661 could be an area that we could possibly retrace to by the Fibonacci method. Also 22,400 in that area, that'll be your 0.38. And then this shallow area right here at 23,376 possibly be a buying area. If we get a shallow dip, these are the areas that I could expect it to come back to and bounce off of. However, we need to look at the structure of this pattern. For it to stay in this pattern, this area of 23,400 would be what we're shooting for. If it breaks out of this pattern, we're likely to get a bigger move down, although not necessarily horrible. If that were to happen, that measured move would take us probably right around to this area, about 19,000. Possible to happen. We always got to keep these ideas on the back burner, okay? Now, as I've said before, I actually do believe that we've got the bottom end for the bear market. Doesn't mean that we will not eventually come back down to the 17,800 area and retest it over time. The smart trader stashes some cash away just in case that happens, or even, let's say the bears are right and they get their $10,000 Bitcoin. I've got money waiting for that, okay? So you've always got a plan. You've always got a plan for the alternative, but play what the charts are telling you is going on in the moment, okay? So what if Bitcoin does not go to 10,000? I got my pool of fiat currency that I can use later on into the market, okay? You want to have a good sized portion in cash in your portfolio. That was a hard lesson for me to learn. You want to have a good amount of Bitcoin, a decent amount of Ethereum, and a decent amount of cash. And then you can focus on altcoins with the rest of it. But as for the daily with Bitcoin, there's no bearish divergence going on. The divergence looks fine. Getting a little tired on our momentum on the market cipher. However, we've got, if you look at market cipher, and this is one of the things I like about it, this is not the actual market cipher. This is actually a clone called Fu Manchu. Does excellent. We're getting ready to print that red dot on here, right? But look at the money flow. When we see money flow coming in on these larger time frames, and the market cipher shows this very well, that's why I use it. Okay, any pullbacks that we get are probably going to be slight. So that's why I'm saying I expect a pullback to the bottom level of this channel. Here's the real area that we want to be concerned with, was right through here, of right around 21.5. That is the area that we have got to hold, okay? That is the top point of this area right here. We flipped this. This was our SR flip. This is our resistance to support flip, okay? This is where we jumped up above this level, turned that resistance into support. This is the most important level that we have right now. We don't want to see price go below 22,000, okay? If we see that, expect a bigger drop. But until then, we are looking to probably come back to this area, possibly for a retest, if we get a stronger pullback. So to sum it up, I expect a pullback to come back to about 23. It could be bigger, but we'll just have to wait and see. Let's take a closer look at some of the 4-hour things. See what's going to be going on in the next couple of days, okay? How's it looking? What you can expect on the 4-hour is a retest of this 200 moving average, okay? That's coming in at 23,100. This lines up with what we were looking at on the daily, coming back down toward this bottom of this trend line. If you want my honest opinion, Bitcoin is showing a lot of strength. I am not really concerned about a big move down. There are more patterns that have been building up on each other, and I'll probably put this together in another video that just explains why I think that we've reached the bottom. But I mean, Adam and Eve pattern, inverted head and shoulders pattern, support resistance flips. There's even another pattern called three valleys, which this falls into that pattern too. Cup and handles are showing up in here. Everything that I'm seeing is showing that we're going up. It's just not happening terribly fast, and we really shouldn't want it to. Let's let Bitcoin dig its heels into the ground, get a firm standing, get a firm base. Let's let all the institutions get their claws into Bitcoin, because they've been doing this since 17K. My opinion is they're the reason we got there, so that they could get those prices. BlackRock plays serious games now. They are ruthless. So if you ask my opinion, that's probably why we hit 17,000. But I think they're smart enough to know that if they take it to 10, they're shooting themselves in the foot. But that's neither here nor there. We don't trade on the speculation idea. We can use that for direction, but we always look to the charts, okay? And the charts are looking good. The charts are looking healthy for Bitcoin. We've got the bearish cross on the 4-hour. When you see that 4-hour cross, that golden cross where your 200 moving average crosses over that 100, it's time to kick back for a little while and start taking profits when you can. Altcoins are doing well right now. A little bit of a pullback today, but that's just part of it. Overall, Bitcoin looks good to me. I would not be concerned about these flip-floppers, and just know that's part of the game. You cannot predict big moves if you're just looking at the 15-minute chart. You do this by the larger charts. You only want to use those 15 minutes to target an entry. We're not trying to predict the market by a 15-minute chart. It's too noisy. It doesn't have the scope that you need. Trying to forecast Bitcoin's overall movement with the 15-minute chart is trying to see the moon through a microscope. It just doesn't work that way. So hopefully this has given you guys some peace of mind. It looks good, guys. Just remember to take your profits, okay? And if you're trading altcoins, pull some out. Try to work on your moon bags. In my honest opinion, things are looking good right now. So I hope this has given you some peace of mind, give you some direction. I will do my best to get an altcoin video out so we can track some of the altcoins that we've been looking at and trying to build some moon bags, things like that. Stay tuned, guys. Until next time, my name is Lane, your Crypto Road Dog, reminding you that, hey, you've got this. So go out there, claim your blessing, line your ducks up in a row, and make some life-changing gains. And as always, be blessed and be positive.